So in this video, I am going to debunk a guy who was claiming lots of things about atheist. Many things like he did straw man fallacy and a couple of others. But let's get started with the video.
Atheist says that there is no evidence for the existence of God. Now the question itself is demanding that either everything needs to have an evidence or everything either requires evidence or there are some things which are self-evident. For example, the universe exists. From where does this universe came from is the question. Does the science answer this question? The answer is no. So
well, you see that it is true that science doesn't yet answer where did the universe come from. What we have is an explanation of a Big Bang event, and even we don't know what happened before that. But you are saying it as if religion has an answer. At least science is honest. Is religion honest? Does religion have any answer to the origins of universe? Now, don't tell me because in some book it is written that universe came like this or this or this without providing any kind of evidence. So you will say because it is written in some kind of book, so I will believe it. But that logic, I believe that there is Hogwarts. I believe that there are flying talking hats. I believe there are witches. I believe there are magicians. Just because all this is written in a book called Harry Potter. Yeah. And if you think this is absurd, then maybe you should look at your own arguments.
So this is an obvious question, that who is the creator of universe?
No, sir, that is not the most obvious question. It is not an obvious question to ask who. Who comes with an assumption that there is someone, and you have no evidence to back up that assumption. So a better and logical alternative would be to ask how, because that is you just asking a simple question without having any kind of assumptions, and that is the correct way to question anything. Ask how without any assumption. That is how you do it, be it scientifically, be it philosophically, be it logically. From every aspect, the question of how is more correct than a question of who, until and unless you know for sure that there is a who, which in this case you don't. So you should always ask how. That is the correct way to do things.
Now the atheist does not like this question. The atheist, they say that there is no evidence for the existence of God, but they actually believe in unobservable universe.
Atheists believe in unobservable universe. Okay, so how is that contradictory? Or are you saying we should not believe in an unobservable universe either, because we don't believe in anything if it does not have any kind of evidence? And according to you, there is no evidence for supporting that the universe is unobservable as in a higher power observing it. Okay, that's cool. So basically you are saying that if I say that there is wood in this stapler, so it is a wooden item, then you dismantle this stapler, check everywhere, and you don't find even the tiniest bit of a wood piece in this stapler, then you say that this stapler is a non-wood item because you didn't find any kind of wood. And then I tell you that, hey, wait a second, show me the evidence that it is a non-wood item. And you will show me, see, this is iron, this is plastic, this is that, no wood. Then I ask you, no, you are showing me this is iron, this is plastic, but it only shows that this is iron and this is plastic. It does not show me that there is no wood. And if you think this is a completely absurd argument, then that is what you are doing here exactly, whether you admit it or not admit it.
When we ask them question that, okay, you say there is no evidence for the existence of God, and although we have provided much evidence for the existence of God.
Yes, exactly. Religious people, theists, have indeed provided us with many evidences in support of God. It is just us foolish atheists who have always ignored them because of our ego. Similarly, how you ignore that I have 8 eyes, how I have 4 ears, how I have 6 limbs, how this guy has got a brain. Similarly, we ignore that there are evidences in support of God provided by theists. It's all the same thing.
But you say that all those evidence are actually claims. Now my question to them is, if all the evidence which is provided by the theist are just claims, then I feel that whatever you people are saying or whatever the science is saying are also claim.
Well, if you are going to put it like that, then maybe I need to more elaborate on that. If both science and religion, if both of them are just claims, if both of them just present claims and nothing else, then I would say that I will still go with science, because at least there is some basis in scientific claims. Irrespective of religions, religious claims are baseless. That is not the case with science. There is a basis to scientific claims. And so, even if they are just claims and nothing more than that, I will still prefer to go to science.
Because you know what is the difference between religion and science? They say that God cannot be demonstrated, but the science can be demonstrated. I would rather disagree with that, because there are many things which cannot be demonstrated by the science, because science actually deals with matter. So anything which is beyond matter, it cannot be treated as science. It is beyond the scope of science.
First of all, this questionable thing called beyond matter thing, where it is? Where is it? I want to see it. I want some kind of evidence. Where is this beyond matter thing that you are talking about? And if you are saying that science does not deal with anything other than matter, then let's see. I don't think space and time comes in matter. They are different, although they are interrelated, they are interconnected, but overall space and time is different from matter. So yeah, science does deal with that. And anyway, what my first argument was, how do you know this beyond the matter thing exists, on which you are saying that science cannot reach it? It is like saying that I cannot understand how a Spider-Man's body works. I cannot understand that because I do not think in fiction. And because I do not think in fiction, so I cannot understand that. So somehow it is my disability, and somehow you are more superior than me than explaining reality by using fiction. And again, if you think I am being ridiculous, just watch at your own arguments and then talk to me.
So coming back to the question that what is the evidence for the existence of God, I think that everything which exists in this universe actually testifies to the existence of a higher creator, because everything is given testimony that it has been created by is created. For example, if you see a painting, you will realize that there is a painter. You will not ask evidence for the existence of the painter. The painting itself proves that someone has painted it. The question right now is not who is God. The question right now is that what is the evidence for the existence of God. So I say that the biggest evidence for the existence of God is the universe itself.
That is a classical watchmaker argument, in which you say that the creation is the evidence of a creator. Now there is an assumption that there is a creator, and then there is another assumption that it is a creation. How do you know that the thing you are talking about is a creation, and how do you know it has got a creator? Because in the case of painting, you know that it is a creation and it has got a creator, because without a painter, a painting cannot get painted by itself. But when it comes to the universe, it is not the case. You do not know, you cannot claim that it is the same with universe, but you are claiming that anyway. So what can I do? Just calling out your BS, I guess. Yeah, that's why I am here in the first place.
Because universe is nothing but matter. And if you say matter and energy, of course, if you say that the life actually belongs to only the matter and energy. So the main question which comes with the science cannot answer is that how can you have life with something which is non-living? Non-living things cannot have life on its own. So how does one can transition from non-living to a living thing, a living being? How can we have a transition from a non-living to a living being? This is the first question. The second question which can be asked is that how can something intellectual come from something which is not intellectual? This is the second question which we would like to ask atheists, that how can life come from something which is non-living? You say that there is no God. Fine. So let's assume there is no evidence for the existence of God, or there is no God, whatever you would like to call. So how come there is life from something which is non-living? And how can something intellectual be in this universe from something which is a random process according to you, or an accident? So how can something intellectual happen? And after that,
explain all that. There is evolution theory. Then if you want to know about the origins of life, then there are various theories and hypotheses about the origins of life. My personal favorite is the primordial soup theory. You can check that out. You can check other theories and hypotheses out, and you can note that there are very logical explanations about the origin of life, which does not require a god.
and after that, can we trust our intellect? That is the question. If you say that we need to ask evidence for the existence of God, a person can even ask you a counter question: what is the evidence for the existence of our intellect? Because intellect is not something. Okay, someone can say that you can measure intellect, but then I would say that how do you know that thing which you are measuring is intellect?
To keep it short and direct, here is the definition of intellect. Now you, according to this definition, you go and observe people and observe yourself, and if you find these qualities in how much ratio, you can say, or how much levels you find this quality, you can determine that what kind of intellect that person has, and if that person even has the intellect or not. So that's the most fastest, directest and easiest way I could have explained that. About the intellect thing, that how can something intellectual come out of a non-intellectual? Again, evolution. That's the easiest answer I can give you. Now, as I can see how you are saying it, random process in such a casual way, I don't think you are actually going to check that theory out, and so I don't think it will help me or even you if I actually try to explain it in a vague way, because I am, by your surprise, a layman, not from science background, so I can only explain it in a colloquial language and not in technical terms. But I don't think that's going to help you either. So my suggestion would be just go and do to any science channel, read books, or just go to any science channel, watch videos and learn about it. That's better for you.
Common sense. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that have you seen the sun and moon, the day and night? These are the signs of God. If you just type signs of God in the Quran, you will see that so common things, so many common physical phenomena of nature that we see every day, these things are actually signs of God.
Oh, seriously? So now you are going to tell me that God says in his own book that what is what is his evidence, that what is the evidence that he is there, and you are going to believe that? It is like Hitler saying that I am a peace-loving guy in his own book, and then you are believing him for that. Like, seriously, is that your argument? Is that your evidence? Is the evidence you are talking about? And you think that anybody in this earth will take that seriously?
But the problem with the atheist is that they are not accepting the evidence. The problem is not that there is no evidence for the existence of God. The problem is, even if there are evidences for the existence of God, the atheist will not accept it because they have decided not to accept it. So anything, any evidence presented to the atheist are actually futile, because whatever you will present to the atheist, and they will say that it's a claim and it's not an evidence. That's the problem with the very premise, and that's the problem with the atheist and atheism.
I see what you are doing there. So basically, hey sir, this is a chocolate. What? This is not a chocolate? Okay. This is a chocolate, a long one. What do you say? It is also not a chocolate? No problem. I claim that this is a chocolate. What? It is just a mere claim? It is not a chocolate? No problem. I would say that this is a chocolate. It is my claim, my firm belief that it is a chocolate. What did you say? Oh, so it is just my claim. It is not a fact. How dare you? So basically, I have presented to you all the evidences to support my claim that these are chocolates, and you are refusing that. You are saying this is not a chocolate. No matter what kind of evidence I show you, you constantly keep saying that these are just my claims and I have no evidence for chocolate. You know what? You are a chocolatist. You will never believe me. No matter how many evidence I present to you, you will never believe that that's a chocolate. You will always say it's a mere claim, because you always want to be a chocolatist, and you will never ever accept my evidences. Even though you claim to accept evidence, you won't, and I know it for sure.
Common sense does not require evidence. Something which is self-evidence does not require evidence. Otherwise, everything will be requiring evidence, even your own paternity. So I believe that every atheist should now have a DNA test done to prove their paternity to their fathers, because they are very obsessed with evidence. So they need to prove that their father, whom they claim to be father, are their biological father. Why are they not doing that? And if any atheist is offended by this kind of demand from the theist, then we theists are also offended when you ask questions which are so obvious.
Oh, please, sir, don't act like the God is your daddy. Wait. Well, it is certainly true that to be 100% sure, you need a paternity test. But let's say you don't need to be 100% sure, you need to be almost sure. Like, if you need to find out if your father is a father, you can see that how many people are claiming that, or like, what is the relation with him, and how much you resemble him. That is also a factor. How much you think that he is like you and you are like him. So yeah, there are things like that which makes you almost certain that your father is a real father, and so there is no real reason to actually go out of your way to have a paternity test. But if you want to be sure, yeah, you can go and have a paternity test. It is not something offensive or a taboo or a sin or anything like that. Go and have it if you are unsure because of something. But if you are almost sure, then yeah, that's fine. And if you're going to say like atheists should do this, you know what theists should do? Don't go to hospitals, don't go to schools, don't have degrees, don't have modern day jobs, don't wear modern day clothes, don't use smartphones, don't use any kind of electronics, don't live in modern houses. And as you are from Islam faith, do 5 times in Nawaz. Many don't do that. If you do, then yeah, that's good. But if you don't, do that. And do all sorts of things that a God demands. And by all, I mean literally all sorts of things. Do not miss any. If a God says no alcohol, do not consume alcohol even as a medication. Do not consume pork even if it is required for your medication. Do not take these things at all, no matter what. And if you do these things, then I will consider you as a true theist. And if you don't, then you are an unfaithful theist, and for you are an unfaithful Muslim. So that was it for today's video. I hope that this guy replies to me, although I am not expecting him to reply to such a small guy like myself. But let's see if he does. And till then, you can subscribe to channel, like the videos, share this video if you liked it, and comment me about the improvements that I should do and what to expect from me. I will upload another video, I don't know, maybe after 1 month or something. It depends, so we will see. But I will upload soon. So till then, have a great day, have a great time. See ya.